Hello everyone, this is Serious Trivia. Welcome back to another episode of our Humankind Let's Play. So last episode we ended by picking the Khmers as our future culture moving into the medieval era. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, the Khmer are the predecessors to Cambodia today, although their people spread into modern day places like Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, but mainly Cambodia. And you can see the Angler Wat in the background. And the main reason why we picked them is because they're once again a builder focused faction with a very nice legacy trait. That's what they're called. Servants of the Magnificence, and we get +3 industry on all Maker's Quarter. It really compound the synergy that we've been creating with the Mayans since we built so many Maker's Quarter, and the fact that our unique emblematic quarter before also count as a Maker's Quarter. So we'll be getting basically a +3 industry on all of those starting next turn. We also get the Baray, which are basically fountains. If you look at this tile closely, what you see here is Angler Wat, and there's actually 2 Barays surrounding Angler Wat today if you visit. They're rectangular pools, and their significance historically is pretty much debated. It's actually kind of interesting how the game is portraying them as sort of an industry/food farmer's quarter situation. The farmer's quarter I can understand, because there is a theory that the Khmer people built these fountains, rectangular shaped fountains, for irrigation. There's a theory on that. But what's most likely the case is that these are built as sort of a spiritual decoration or sort of a gathering place. So having no faith on this feels a little weird. And the fact that we have industry on it also feels a little weird. But we love the bonuses because we're getting extra industry per population in the city where we built this. And I assume since we have multiple territories per city, this will compound. So if we have a 4 territory city, each of our population, because the population is shared by the entire city, will be +4 industry. And we get a flat food boost of 5. That's not significant. -10 stability like all districts. We'll get +2 on that because of our legacy trait from the Jolt. And we get +2 industry per adjacent river. So that's also huge because there are certain areas where I can think of right now where we had these clusters of Maker's Quarters on rivers. And if we place these kind of adjacent to a bunch of those, then we can get huge benefits to that as well for the river tiles that are kind of focused on industry. +1 worker slot, that's pretty standard for all Maker's Quarters, but this also counts as a Maker's Quarter and as a Farmer's Quarter. So if we put this on the edge of our imaginary hexagon grid, we could get adjacency bonus for Farmer Quarters right next to it as well. So definitely a cool building. If we place this on the river, it can actually be really useful because that river tile can receive benefits from so many different infrastructure buildings that can give food bonuses on rivers as well as industry bonuses on rivers, because this can exploit both. Our unique unit is going to be, I can't pronounce this, but a mobile elephant with a ballista on top that has move and fire. Super high damage, 3 range, costs super high upkeep, and requires 2 copper and 2 iron to build. So a little bit of trade-off here. Not sure how many of these we'll get. We're playing rather peacefully, so perhaps we might not even see too many of these. Now for this turn, we're still the Mayans, and that means for most of our cities, we still have to build. And we can kind of see where we're going to end up putting those unique emblematic districts going ahead. So for example here, this is our cluster. If I had known earlier, then the cluster might have moved over here because then we can get this adjacency to river. I could still build it, I could ignore some of these adjacencies here and slap it down, for example, on this tile, which we then get 1, 2, 3 river adjacencies here, right? 1, 2, maybe 4. I mean, the Capital Plaza, I don't know if it counts. Maybe we'll get a little boost because it is on river technically. And if we build it here, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, this is 4 too, so this is probably good. And then you can see that we'll actually still get to exploit this industry because this will exploit both for all things around. So I think that's going to be nice. I think we'll do that. that means I'm not going to end up building anything there for this turn. We can work our infrastructure for this turn, right? We have horses here for sure. How do we not have this? This is why we have -8 food and killing our citizens here. Let's grab some infrastructure. We've been working hard at wonders, so can't really blame them. And they have so many territories to build emblematic. I think one of the questions I posed in a recent video was, is it possible to use single territory cities? But then the drawback of having so many territories is that you end up having no time to build because you're constantly building all these really nice emblematic ones around. Yeah, let's just use this turn for infrastructure in most of our places. That way everything's back on. We can still build this. We were debating this for a while of whether I actually want to have this exploitation on the map. And I think the agreement is I don't really need it here. I don't see anything wrong with making this entire place more food focus. Like this would be the only place I would consider it, but then I would only get like a few adjacencies, so it's not even worth it. All right, let's see what we can do. We cut down all the trees for you, so you can't take advantage of that. Default worker per just worker, extra industry per worker. Not a bad choice. This is on the front line, so I could also see an argument where we might want to focus. Ooh, stability is the issue. Then let's do public fountains here. And food is always going to be a concern. But most of these rivers are not food rivers. We're actually doing a lot of industry rivers. Oh, there's also a lot of rocky fields. A lot of good choices here. This one's going to be really good. This is the river system I was thinking about. Because we have these two river systems running against these. So if I could put the adjacency... This is an easy 4 adjacency. This is an easy 4 adjacent. This is probably where I'm going to put it. Oh, but this one's not going to take the benefit because they're not in the same city. I can rebuild one of these districts. And then we can just transition. Well, actually, this is a good tile. 1, 2, 3, and then 4. There's 4 here. And then we can also transition these to food in the future if we want. Anyways, let's continue. Let's become
wisdom
the
and
medieval
technical
era.
innovation from earlier eras bring humankind new knowledge, and we immediately use it to find new ways to kill each other off. Greater empires build more powerful armies, but brute strength may be defeated by superior innovations. It is brains versus brawn, with ever richer cities as tempting spoils for the victor. For innovation and brute strength, the Khmer present you with sophisticated hydraulic engineering and ballista-equipped elephants. I like it.
Alrighty. We have our new era. We are still builder focused, so lots of district would be nice. And everything else still counts. We defeated 5 units in the uprising. 3 more tech here. We're really behind on gold because we haven't really focused. We haven't built any money quarters or market quarters. Expansionists probably won't happen as much because we won't have that many territories to incorporate unless we go out at sea. And this we'll get. So I feel like the focus is going to be on this, this, and this, and then we'll move on from there. We are way ahead with scoring, and everyone's still an era behind. So you see the multiple stars, but they're not in the same era, which means we're running away with technology as well, science. Let's see what we can do. Colony model, create cities with small packages of infrastructure already built. Start with 3 population, start with 140 industry. Start with all infrastructure from era 1 and 2. Wait, that's better than our current cities. I haven't even had time to build all of them from era 1 and 2. That's really good. These are the new home guard replacement for civilians, I think. What were they called earlier? Citizens. Now we have peasants. City cap increase, manuscript altiere, science focus, festivals. These are projects, I think. Oh, this fits us with the headdress culturally. But I don't think, like, it's predetermined. It's not because we're the Khmer we get that one. We're going to get this first. Feudalism looks really good. And seafaring is probably something we will probably shift towards as we are running ahead in terms of our tech. So we can probably try to run ahead in terms of the ocean trade. Pleasant,
You are.
that is good. We'll buy your silk. Very pricey, but we'll buy one. We'll try to buy more as we proceed. Most of our cities are back. The Baray are ready. Some say these vast artificial lakes symbolize the sea of creation. Right, that is the spiritual take on it. What indisputable is the boon on their shores? So I guess hydraulics is the reason why they get industry. And the effects here per adjacent, plus 2% from the silk that we have. Saffron's giving us extra food. So those are just bonuses, not because of this, but other things. I was thinking, this tile, look at the adjacency. We'll still be able to work industry and food on adjacent rivers, which enables a lot of things. Even though we chopped all the trees down because I thought that wasn't going to be possible. But yeah, we basically save the industry there and save the industry there instead of building like a typical farmer quarter. So this does a little bit of both. And we're basically treating it as a farmer and just passing on the bonuses to the nearby tiles. Yeah, this is not going to pick up anything, but we're basically picking up these two new tiles. Let's do it. Next. Alright, we got choices too. So here, I might build it here. It's going to get the adjacency as a maker while preserving the food options of the river and granting bonuses to the river. And here we're getting the industry on the river. So we're kind of transitioning from an industry zone into a food zone. I can pull food back here as well. That's another option, but there's not as many adjacent tiles. Look at the industry we're picking up, 36. Depends on what I want to make of these. It feels like these will end up being Maker's Quarter just because of the way the land are. So this probably is the best because we're transitioning from Maker to food. And everything can keep a little bit of extra. We could basically pick up 9 food here instead of getting no food here. Yeah. And all the river adjacencies are nice. Plus 10, plus 33. I don't think we can argue with that yield. Plus 13, plus 36. That's just too amazing. You are all food. Oh, but there are tiles up here that are industry. So this will make a perfect transition. And these are technically adjacent river. 1, 2, 3, 4. Seems like a great amount. Plus 53 industry by placing this down. That is madness. Right, these river system that we've been kind of drooling over the potentials here. It's going to be less impressive because there's a current one, so we're kind of just replacing what we're building. Like here, we'll pick up new tiles that preserve both. We might do it here, actually, away from these. These will just do Maker. We kind of decided that we're going to focus on Maker. Because look at this. We pick up 1, 2, 3, technically 4. I don't think we'll get anything because that exploits all tiles. And then we preserve both on that. And then we never have to really upgrade these. We can just keep giving them native water bonuses. And this really helps with our food. This is a win here. I'm going to look at our armies real quick. We have the culture. Angler Angkor Wat would be, our actual culture's achievement. Do we actually want this though? 40 stability is really high. Faith. Food per faith. Ooh. That sounds great. Forbidden City. You get war support. Not really something I'm going for. Todaiji. This would be a Buddhist temple in Japan. Looking at additional faith, stability, 20% per turn before being converted. Okay. So kind of defensive religious building, which I think we also do need. But I can't say no to this. The food effect is good. Stability is good. Faith is good. This is what we're going for. And it's on theme, on brand with our culture that we picked. That probably means we can't attach anything. There's one thing we want. No, actually we attached it. This is the only thing that we didn't attach, which eventually will probably be us absorbing them and then attaching this over with them. And then the only other territories I can see us attaching in the future are these naval ones. Now, where is this going to end up going? That's the question. I want to go check out my armies, mainly because they could potentially get upgraded again. Nope, not the case. We haven't researched anything more impressive. And we're not really interested in building more armies. Everyone's friendly with us. Let's continue. There are these civics we haven't signed. Oh, someone picked it. Ooh, the English. Okay, the English got nerfed. I don't know if they heard about that. Appeasing. Where are allies? Ooh, obsidian. Percent industry. I like that. They have 4 saffron. We are a little bit lacking in terms of the Celts went English, food on food. We kind of went builder on builder. Are we going to end up building capitals again? No, we're going to first finish this in each of our zones. We have so many zones, which is why this is such a busy city. There's sadly no river system here, and there's no food to preserve. Like, there's no food tiles. Like, we're not saving anything. The adjacency is nice. Like, we're not picking up anything. Oh, we can save the food here, or else we build a regular builder here. It wouldn't work out. But we're literally saving 2 food. Like, the yield on this is just so low that's not really worth prioritizing. Whereas here, we ended up putting that there. That's our triple emblematic right here. I can kind of see it going here. This is probably the better place for it. What is currently on that? Nothing, right? Yeah. The reason why this is probably better because this side has a little bit industry, which we save. And then we also preserve all the food around it, giving only 1 river adjacency bonus though. But here we're not really getting much either. 14 and 36, 21 and 33. We might have a better place. Maybe not. Our land are pretty poor aside from our capital area. The capital is actually not that strong. We get to end up preserving a food tile here for temporary purposes. No, actually, no, it's going to be gone. This is the best spot because we end up saving this food for sure. Whereas if we do this, this will still end up a builder's quarter because that's what we'll do just to get these synergies. 1035. This one's hopeless. Huh. Not good. Like the best yield, 2133. 2133 might be the best yield. Alright, we're going to put you down. I see 1 river. We ended up putting our unique right here. We already built that one. There's no food to save. Oh, there's 1 food here. There's 1 food here. We could save that food, basically, if we end up building... There's nothing worth saving here. This is not even worth really focusing on. We should focus on this one. Or should we? This is the only place I think it's worth... No, actually it'll be here. Because we need to surround this, right? those are going to be worker for sure. This one will save this potentially as food. And yeah, nothing wrong with that. 928 though. The yields are terrible now for these. We have a lot of not so great land that we have stretched into decent choices here. I mean, okay, these yields are not bad. We can't expect everything to be 53. This is fine. We save that one. Okay, so we're going to replace one of the ones we already built because of how many river bonuses we can pick up. It'll be this one. Like, it's ready a maker's quarter, so we're just marginally improving, as you can see. And the improvement's huge. They're saying this one's better because we end up getting more maker's yields because... See, but this is deceptive, right? This 42, look at this. We're replacing one. Here we're building a new one. So we will have 22 here anyways. We're going to save 5 food here and 15 food here. Yeah, this is really more or less a lie because now it's giving us like the food from exploitations going on there, whereas this is getting 15. We're picking up an extra 5. Yeah, it's actually less food difference because then this one's going to get exploited differently. Yeah, I'm still convinced this is a better run. Yes, we're replacing it.
Whether or not the world goes hungry, with 30 farmers' quarters, this city certainly won't.
That's a peaceful group. Oh, now I forgot where I want to put it. I think we mentioned... What will be this? That'll be a maker one. We get good food yields on these, but there's probably not a lot of food here, just period, because let's be honest, we're in the middle of the desert here. We build it here. This is for this city. Oh, we did mention this is a good place. I'll remember that for the future. But here, I think it's gotta be this. 3 adjacent river. That one's not gonna pick up because it's already got a maker's quartered. Well, maybe here. No, I still like that better. Haojing. Busy, man. Huh, I could sneak it over here. We get food adjacency and maker's adjacency on each other. That's actually kind of cute. Instead of putting it over here. Because these tiles are terrible. I was thinking here. But I don't know if these food are worth saving. I mean, this kind of makes sense because we'll end up building farmer here, perhaps. 1536, 37. I like the adjacencies here. Yeah, we'll actually build it here. Alright, they're done with that project. They're done with all the new stuff. Infrastructure needs help. No forest. No, oh, actually, they might have a little forest, but not much there. Stability's back over 100. Did we finish this around here? We did. 466 production in this place. 75 food in this place. Production's going amazing. Hesitant. Okay. Oh, this is cheap. We have a nice close land route. Okay. Try to butter them up with purchases. Maybe they can work on the Ankler Watt project. We don't have to build it in their area. They can just be the one working for it because they doesn't seem to have much to build. So we can pick up a nice group of tiles with this, similar to what we've been doing. And really, I don't know if we have a cluster of really good tiles that we're just eager to exploit. Yeah. I'm kinda tempted to put it closer to a natural wonder. The Halong Bay, being in Vietnam, would be quite close geographically to the Angkor Wat. So I could justify this a little bit, and then if we don't upgrade the river system, this might be a good place actually. It's really close to the mausoleum. The rationale here is we end up picking a couple of river tiles, and those river tiles can keep both the industry and the food bonus. So I will build it here. Maybe. And then these rivers will get all the infrastructure boosts. 3 of them. Okay. Friendly armies, right? Yep. I mean, I think we said it only kind of makes sense here a little bit, just because that one's going to be food. Both of these are going to be maker. We're protecting 1 food here, but 2 food here. There are actually rivers here. We built that there because we're committed to making all these makers, which I think is a good choice. Here, we're going to treat this more as a farming quarter that can preserve multiple yields on all sorts of rivers. Did we farmer quarter that? We did. I might regret that. If we don't farm the rivers, we can keep them more flexible. Could I destroy this tile, for example? Can our units ramsack our own land? Because I kind of want to preserve multiple resources instead of just food on the river. And if we end up building it here, we can achieve that. Although this one's not multiple. Pick up a bunch of mountains here. And then we get activated. Like these 2 rivers we preserve. I don't know what the base yield on that one is. Yeah, I think that might be the strategy. Just keep rivers clean so we get both resources. How come this one is... what is on here? Rocky field plus river? Oh, what if we built this here? Then we pick up that river. Yeah, that might be the best placement here. We get multiple ones on that one. A merchant from afar. Bang, bang, bang. A rabble of traders ferrying strange wares are knocking on Feng Hao's gate, demanding an audience. They tell you they hail from a far land, having traveled many leagues along one of your fabled trade routes. Silk Road, perhaps? They claim to offer merchandise that will be profitable, but they also look rather haggard and exhausted. Do you agree to let them in? Dismiss them? So basically globalization or, localization here. Unexpected consequence, definitely. Very drawn by that. The Huns have become the Aztec. Okay, still a bit worrying here. Loy's population are growing. Okay, so what's the result of this plunder? Which is...
Come over here.
Huh? No yield? It just ruins? Can I develop that? I'm trying to not develop it. Oh, clear ruins. Okay, we can recover it. Thank you. You guys were great. Violence ending our trade routes. They were expensive to buy,
A
guys.
sight for sore eyes.
My actions. My ram. No. My ruins. My ruins cut off our trade. Well, that is very unexpected.
Yes, greetings. I hope you don't mind if I stare.
Renounce.
I can see the bigger
Renounce.
picture.
Renounce.
Let
Be
us
friendly,
no longer
Aztec.
speak of
You guys
this.
could be quite
It's
aggressive.
not worth worrying about.
Silk is industry. Sage is food. We
Keep
can't
talking.
afford one
Maybe
of them,
someone else will
so
take you seriously.
A mere indiscretion.
buy all your sage.
You have my
Needy.
ear.
I am
Tell
so
me what you
sorry,
wish to
guys.
discuss.
I'm so sorry. I don't want to disrupt trade either. It's just unfortunate trying out something. Ramsack wrecked our trade routes. Let's go with war summons. Better units never hurt anyone. It also links into military architect. Merge Saros. Oh, that's what we need. When we get independent cities, we absorb them into our current city. That's what I want, and that's my unique unit. Trebuchets, great swords, hamlets. So food and industry, you say. Maybe we can build these on rivers. So they're kind of like common quarters, but better. Land and freedom. Civic. Let's see. We haven't signed any civic in a while. Plus 10 food per number attached territories on all cities if we go communal land. Allowed to claim, attach, and merge territories with money instead of influence. Now, we actually don't have a lot of money. Inherited land, which we shift all the way back, which we don't want to do that. Lose some stability for increased industry percentage and plus food. This is very favorable, actually.
Why should individual wealth and political connections determine the status of something as timeless as the land?
All right, our last one. I think so. I think the argument was it has to be in this area. Oh, then it has to kind of be this one, I think. It doesn't matter where we actually place it because it's all going to become Maker's Quarters. Yeah, that's fine. Ah, right. We have been ignoring our affinity, but probably for good reason. I don't need any more industry. Like, our industry is already kind of insane.
You come to me with a proposition. Let us see what is possible.
Oh, they... Wait. The Greeks. Really now. Because they're here. They beat us to the punch. I don't hate it, but I'm a little shocked. We'll bribe them with something. Alright, so we're done with our emblematic creation. Now we're just behind on infrastructure by quite a bit, but like, we can easily take that up by a whole lot here. Let's start with river-focused stuff. The capital is never ceasing because there's so many things to do. We have no food to save. Like, it's not gonna pop any food. So really, they have the exact same benefit in terms of how many we're gonna get. So yeah, it really doesn't matter. I'll take this just because I get a forested tile here.
How do you do, whoever you are?
That's okay.
A mere indiscretion.
I believe our trade all resolved itself.
You're yapping,
Yeah, don't.
friend. So pleasing to see you again.
Still? Industry focus, okay. Buy both. Did we not recover that tile? It was right here. It's recovered. Wait, what's the yield on it? Is there no yield? It says 3 food and 3 industry. I don't see it written here. Yeah, it's this one. That's where we want it. Alright, you guys are also behind. Very behind on infrastructure projects. Maker quarter adjacency. Yeah, we could benefit from that. Industry on rivers. Let's just queue these up. These are all great. And we don't have stability issues. We could use some more influence as well. Population gain, great. It has been forgiven, thank you. Ooh. Losing trade routes. Let's see if there's anything urgent we're missing. Food on river, that feels pretty urgent. Decent amount of forest land. Mountains, which I know we have a ton of. Extra from Maker's Quarter, farmer providing food. That's like basic, but we have so much food surplus, it's kind of outrageous. There is a small problem with stability, and we'll just leave it at that for now. The battle for the mind. The great city of Fenghao is bursting at the seams. Countless souls press within the city's tight borders. In the dense, squalid quarters, cases of madness are on the rise. Religious leaders contend that demonic forces are behind the affliction, while the philosophers argue for natural causes. Both are strong voices in the empire with competing solutions. What is your response? We study, and this is for progress. Learning on cities, science for all cities for 10 turns. Faith, or we judge and pick up money. Science it is.
You have reached the end of an ideology axis.
Yes, we're back in
Of all
max
the
progress.
epithets other empires may use,
Our empires
Wishy-washy
are
is not
close.
one
I
of
am
them.
so pleased
Not
to
the
greet
first
you.
time we heard that one. Ah, the Greeks have finally moved forward. Congratulations to them. Alright, we got our first or second star. Wow. Okay, and yep. Ooh, how did they get 2 stars so quickly, yet lag so hard behind our score? Anyways, not bad. We'll be picking up that one pretty quickly too. We're gonna get one here, and population still climbing, so encouraging signs. We only need to really focus on 2 and just skip 1 to really move on each time. And looks like technology is going to be a mainstay for us going forward. Yeah, we want the... Actually, this is really good too. I think the Hamlet quarter is quite nice. But let's go in this order. Could try out these unique units. You caught up on infrastructure. Congratulations. We're not really focused on science. That's not how we're really gaining our science. We're gaining our science from our first emblematic quarters. They carry a long time. So I guess we can go back to district building. Or maybe holy site building. I haven't cared too much about faith, but it's also a good stability boost if we want that. I'm trying to see if we completed our surround. Yeah, we haven't. So you can see we can pretty much finish our impressive synergies here. But it's not on the river. Probably not the best place to build it. There's a lot of choices back in the capital. 24. This one's definitely going to end up going, but it's 20. $17, not impressed. Here is probably where, yeah, 28, we're getting recommended to. Yeah, this is probably where we're going to get the most benefit here. Let's build that there. Your infrastructure is not caught up. Fudan River, Fudan Harbor. We have one harbor here, that means. So many mountains. Plenty of forest here as well. Alright, let's just queue those up for now. Oh, that one's kind of 2 turns. Wait, it says 1 turn. Oh, wait. Maybe because of the rounding, because the carryover. Let's just do that. Merchant from Afar, Part 2. Fenghao's market flourished, full of life and color and tantalizing smell. The decision to let the traders from a distant land into the city has paid off handsomely. Prosperous, plus money here for 10 turns. Great. And Fields of Plenty, a new civic. Hark! Your empire is a land of plenty. Your city's a quilt-work of farms and small holdings that feeds your hungry and ambitious people, while new methods of the age bring huge grain silos into your employ, transforming the farmland landscape. As the sector scales up, you must now ask yourself, it's time to the state run the empire's farms. These look like bonds here. Nationalize industries, +1 farmer slot on cities or outposts per farming quarter. So like an extra one, an extra farmer. And we're going all the way to collectivism, state-owned, for more industry. Or we shift really hard back and get +1 trader slot on cities per market quarter. I mean, right now, we are very much farm-focused. We're not really money-focused.
Paradoxically, could provide more freedom and autonomy.
Not very essential to us.
Our empires are close.
Back to
I am
Pleasant.
so pleased to greet you.
Can't afford anything here.
How do you do? I never
Suspicious.
sensed the question.
I don't want the Aztec to come attack us. But don't want might not be a solution here. Maybe it's going to be time for some army buildup very soon. We can't avoid it forever. We do have some research quarters, or emblematic districts. Oh, this is the one we need, don't we? We have huge population number. 25 science right there. Yeah, we'll wait for this to just complete naturally in 1 turn anyways. Over here, looks like we're still kind of behind on some of the infrastructure. Oh, these are literally 1 turn because they cost 400 and we're producing 756. Like, these are same turn finishes. Population star.
The site of Angkor Wat is worthy of reverence, not merely for the temples, but for the care it took with water and irrigation.
The Barays, namely. All right, we picked up a bunch of tiles, and these you can see will keep both resources, which is what we want to see here. Now we get a few more idle cities. If we end up going to war with them, we see that they actually neighbor us here because they've been fighting them off. They're actually strong. I think they've been beating them back. You can see them taking land. So if this is where war will happen, right? We could use some garrison around the high ground here. Like, if they come through here, it's a rather long walk and a very easy one that we can defend. But if they approach us from, say, here, like they'll come in from like this way into this plane, then we have to prepare our defenses a little bit differently. We could hug these mountains. That's a choke. That's a choke. We could really start thinking about actually building defensive structures. Okay, we're gonna actually start building these then. I feel like this is definitely a good location. Just because we can hold this. This is even higher ground. If they try to pass by, we can attack from here. I'm gonna put it here instead. We're gonna start preparing for actual war. It's gonna be on the horizon. Alright, we'll finish up with a lot of these infrastructure builds. Abilities going up already. Pick up culture, pick up science. There's just not a lot of forest here. There's a little bit here, but not much. That's important, but I think we'll grab it nonetheless.
Your people see it as a place of safety and a symbol of power. Only your friends know of the extensive wine cellar.
We can claim a new one. We can claim 2 again. Ah, they have scouts in our land. That's what we don't want to see. We can grab the Forbidden City as well, which is also quite on brand, as I am Chinese. And this is a war support increase when going to war. So this will actually help us quite a bit. And also we can expand a couple more tiles in another city. So I think we will snatch this. But it's going to distract us from our building project. Yes, we now have a garrison for spawning. Forbidden City. Not a lot of great tiles to pick up. That was our dilemma from earlier. I mean, by the same logic, we could claim another portion of the river. Maybe by even building on top. We're looking for rivers with like dual resources like these. This actually looks like a great spot. Let's do it. I really do like Luoyi with the 2 natural wonders. I think this is a great city. So I don't mind investing heavily into it. Where is your harbor, by the way? It's down here. Okay, so they can potentially have like 3 harbors. And basically future money quarters. Like maybe these clusters can be money quarters. Wait, why do we pick up science here? From what? This is science, but why do you get it? That feels like a great spot. I don't know if I want to build those. They're really money focused. There's still a lot of infrastructure projects that we're not really finished with here. Actually, no, there's not a lot of infrastructure project we're not finished with here. We're going to help with the Forbidden City. It's going to be done in 1 turn now. Well, 2 turns, technically. Yeah, they're downgrading a lot of our treaties. They're probably not going to be our friends in the future, but they're weak. They're getting beaten back. I'm not too concerned. Every city has a build water. And we already selected the next one for chivalry. They forgave us at peace with my enemy. Wait, I can ask for something?
Tell me about yourself.
No, you don't have to surrender to the
I can
English.
see the bigger.
Not only was it the palace for 2 dynasties and
Wait,
14 emperors,
Foreign war between the English and them,
Forbidden City
right?
was rumored to contain
Not rumored.
9,999 rooms.
It contains 9,998 rooms. It's a big place. Like this doesn't even. This only represents like 3 courts. It's much bigger than this. I would know from the city. But when they mean rooms, you know, some of the rooms are really small. Yes, I am not absorbing that yet. If we get... Oh. If we get them, we could definitely absorb them in. I mean, we'll eventually be the patron of them, but this could be a pretty nice... This is small. There's only 2 territories here. All our cities are idle now. That's a good one. That's a decent one. We have no researchers, by the way. Focus on growth. Stability is fine. I feel like we're not done with a lot of the setup that we promised to do. The bonuses are not set here yet. 25, 17, 23. Yeah, I should probably finish these. This is Haojing. See, this guy's annoying. I actually need to build some of these. So both here and here, probably both will be garrisons. Oh no, I can't. I can only build 1 district at a time. Fenghao, we're gonna leave it pretty open to attack and defense. Gonna be one of those kind of cities in the open plain, constant warfare. Pick that up, pick that up. And we can probably slap a district down. Most likely, there's 5 more population we could grow. But for each district, we get another population on top of that. I mean, we don't even need to be shy here. We're literally trying to spam these. We have 1, 2 here. The shape is kind of weird. So this would be a good synergy spot. Actually, no, that's a horse. 23. That's a good synergy spot. Infrastructure, right. We're still debating about the harbor situation here. We'll get those first. Stability is not an issue. This does sound good. But we don't get... This is probably better. Less food, but in the future, more market quarter synergies. Especially... Because we can get 3. Here we can only get 1. We can get 2 here. I don't know. being next to natural wonder has apparently no effect. I think this is the winner here.
You now have a city of 10 territories. That tiny first settlement is nothing but a distant memory.
Wait, no we don't. I have 5. Unless they're counting all the cities together. Someone's picked up the right technology for the deeds, but we're still very far ahead in terms of scoring. Alright, we build ourselves another garrison district. And we might keep building that. I think we'll reduce the cost for sure. We'll get this one. We'll get this one. Stability is totally not an issue here. And then we'll slap this one down here as well. The Great Wall is starting. We're leaving some gaps here. I think I'll build another garrison here. We'll let this low plain, because I think this is a cliff, right? They have to come up here, enter through a river, which is going to hold them. Like if we can build a fort here, we choke this off, and these are all safe. They can't go through the cliff. Not with the current technology, right? And then once we choke this off, we can branch out here. And basically, we probably want to curl this way, actually. So 2 forts can attack the river here, because when they come through the river, this is a great place for us to eliminate them. Increased stability from the garrisons. Sounds great.
Wonderful to see you.
Yeah, our relationship with English is deteriorating
Your empire
amazingly
is in
fast. And we're trying to keep the Aztecs liking us. Oh, that is so pricey. Alright, now that we have 2 harbors, maybe the harbor building synergy should come over. And maybe a 3rd harbor should go down, 1 for each territory. This probably be better, just because we can potentially get 2 market quarters. Alright, still gaining quite a bit of population. I think our build-up's going well. We have a pretty clear direction of where we want to go with things. These guys might be... No, they still can't get upgraded. Still swordsmen. They're still going to be Janchua. Let's put in a couple more orders here. We're going to build the wall. Build the watchtower for vision. City watch to increase the amount we get stability from them. And we're going to go with our plan of putting 2 here. The English are also interested, but... Oh, there's a path here. Okay. Oh, no. Oh, we'll come back to it. Elsewhere... Probably more focused on just continue our expansion of things that we promised to build. 28. Wait, did I actually build something here? No, I didn't build anything here. No, I did. Wait. Cancel that. I need to choke that point with this point. Yeah, I'm gonna build that here first, and then probably curl around, actually. Are we really leaving them open to attack? I guess it's fine. They're kind of the breadbasket area here. We'll make them a much more even shape in terms of the city. The army's here too, so it's okay. Picked up more tiles.
As feudal structures prove practical for both farming and warfare, certain codes and practices arise that, ideally, ensure a fair and honorable society.
This can only be built once per territory, which makes sense because it's insanely good. Alright. Let's pick out +1 slot for each army. Great Swordman probably is the upgrade for Swordsman. Makes perfect sense. So we need that. They keep downgrading all sorts of treaties. Eventually the alliance is going to break, I'm pretty sure. Oh, some of these is us asking for...
How do you do?
Oh,
We can renounce these.
it's not worth worrying about.
Alright, we're buying all your goodies. Now you
Pleasure,
guys
as always.
are very mean. But I'll still try to buy up all the goods. Alright, they got all the harbor boost already. City's in a relatively peaceful slot. And now I'm thinking we pick up these mountains here. Infrastructure also solid. That might not even be, I mean... No, I'm not building all the way over there. This is like developing this desert being very stubborn by us to keep the desert going. I mean, but we're getting good yields from there. This is also going to be pretty decent. $25 there. Feng Hao. Feng Hao is just food spam. 32 pop. Right, 32, 30, it's even more than the capital just because the floodplain here with the river going like this. Super impressive. 26 here, 25 here. Like, I feel like we're dwarfing a lot of AI cities. That's the capital of what used to be the Greeks. 20 here, 25 at their capital. Yeah, I mean, we're well ahead. For good reasons. That army's definitely scary, but as long as we hold out here. This one's 22. Sounds good. This tile here with a little bit of industry makes me feel like the hamlet could go here. We save that little bit of industry if we want. Because there's no other good tiles to use that for all sorts of exploitation. Oh, actually, up here next to that. Right, up here next to that. We basically get to keep it. Or else we build... if we don't build on it, we get to keep it too. That is true. Like, if we don't touch the river next to the main plaza, they can keep both yields. That's why they want us to build up here. But then it becomes part of the city, and we also have to defend it. All the districts are part of your city. So, like, in this case, building down is safer for us. Go do that. We maxed out our builder star. Alright, science gonna get the second one, and population gonna get a third one. So we're actually gonna fly to the 7 stars very quickly this time. And we might actually jump. Because we already finished our emblematic quarter. So my goal with my unique culture is done. Only this is kind of era restrictive. And then if we go on the next one, we can just keep pushing our advantage. Because we'll be lapping people. Alrighty, I think we'll end the episode here. Pretty good place. I think we're maybe one turn away from moving on to the next era. And I'm pretty happy with where things are. And we can also have a lot of influence stored up to grab wonders in the new era. If everyone's so behind, all the wonders in the new era will be ours. And we can keep, grabbing extra tiles for our cities with these wonder placement. But the only thing you have to be careful is the wonder is considered a piece of your city. So like if they come and take out any of your district, they can fight you at any of your current district, which is why we're kind of building down here as well. But things are going well. If we can get patronage with them, eventually, I could consider absorbing them because now we can absorb cities, which is much better than before. I can't believe they grabbed this one. I should have grabbed it. I don't know why it was so slow. It would create a lot less difficult situation for us if this was all us instead of having the green over here as well. Yeah, that was a misplay. Aside from that, pretty content with the rest of the campaign. So until next time, bye!